All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you all for coming. Just to let you know, this session is being recorded, although any playback won't show any of your information or anything like that. This will just be for informational purposes for anybody who was not able to attend today. Well, thank you so much for coming. Again, my name is Rachel. I am the Customer Success Manager. I work mostly with academia clients, although in the past I have worked with AccuCampus clients as well. So I'm very excited to present to you today about the Learning Center Innovation Grant. We're really excited that Engineerica Systems is able to offer this grant, and we hope that some of you will choose to apply to it. It's a very great opportunity, and we're excited to tell you more, and hopefully today we'll answer all your questions. Again, if you do have any questions, please go ahead and put that in the question box, and I will be happy to answer those for you. You can also raise your hand, and I can unmute you at that time if you want to just go on mic and ask your question that way. All right. So, as I said, my name is Rachel. I'm the customer success manager working with academia clients, but I do a little bit of everything here at Engineerica in addition to that. So, some of you, I see some names I recognize, some I don't. Not sure if everybody here is a client of Engineerica, but if you are, then you may have worked with me at some point, and if not, I hope to work with you in the future. I do have a background in higher education. I won't get too into detail about it this time, but I love working with higher ed clients, and I love helping them help their students. So a little bit about this grant, the reason we're all here today. So the Learning Center Innovation Grant is sponsored 100% and awarded 100%, judged 100%. All of it is done by Engineerica. So the funds are coming entirely from our company, and our staff will be the ones to judge the applications. And again, many of us have higher education experience, so we've worked in many of the same positions that some of you have right now. The purpose of the grant is to reward innovation and the use of technology in academic support centers. So we know that a lot of centers, they want to be able to use more technology in their centers other than just simple, whatever they presently have. And we also know that budgets are tight, especially right now. So we're hoping, just try to get the fan out of the way there a little bit. Sorry, it's very hot in here. So we're hoping that the funds from this grant can help a few of our great clients make good use of technology in their centers, and so we're excited to be able to help out some of our clients in that way. So the winner, besides the funds they'll receive, the winners will have, or the first place winner and possibly the second or third place, depending, will have the opportunity to present the results of their grant at a conference. I do want to specify I want to clarify, we don't have a specific conference in mind for this. So depending on the type of center you run and the type of students you serve and the exact technology you choose to use and how you choose to use it, our plan is to work with you to find a suitable conference where we can present on the results of this technology's use in your center. And Engineerica will likely fund a good portion or all of that visit, depending, of course, on the price. But we, of course, will work with you and be 100% transparent about what we're able to do in that regard. So if the presentation is accepted and everything goes well, we hope to be able to fund 100% in addition to the grant award to be able to fund your visit to that conference. I do see we have a question here. David is saying, for some reason, I cannot hear anything. Let me see. David. Okay. David, it does say that you're not connected to audio. So you want to make sure that you are connected in that way. I guess he can't hear me. I think I do have Janelle on, or one of my colleagues on, if they're able to answer him and one-on-one, and just see if they can help troubleshoot that. All right, so also included, we do send you a plaque, and of course you get the bragging rights to be able to say that you were a recipient of this grant, and hopefully that will be a boon to you at your institution. So specifically in terms of the due date, that is going to be November 15th, 2021. So please be sure to get your applications in by that point. It's not, I don't think it's as extensive as the application is as extensive as a lot of other grants that you may be applying for. So hopefully that should be more than enough time. Month and a half should be more than enough time to submit that. So we have 3 prizes: first place, second place, and third place. First place is $2,000, so it's a one-time payment. $1,000 is second place, and then third place is $500. So that can be applied. Hold on one second, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so that can be presented as a check, and it can be applied towards an AccuCampus or an academia subscription. So you can either just receive the funds outright, or we can just apply it to your next renewal or your new subscription if you're a new client. So how do you qualify for the grant? So the first thing is that you do have to be a client of Engineerica. So some of you attending today may not currently be, or some of you watching the rerun may not currently be academia clients or AccuCampus or Engineerica clients in general. That's okay, but in order to be awarded the funds, you do have to become a client by December 31st, 2021. So that's going to be a requirement for that grant. One thing I do want to point out is that the funds will not be awarded to the winner on 31st, until December. So just keep that in mind when you apply and all that. The second is you do have to be a manager of some kind at a student support center. So we're not accepting applications from students or tutors, even if they have a really great idea. It does have to be somebody with authority over that center. And third, the application does need to be complete, and it does need to include a video. So that's a must-have for the application, is that it should be a short video. And I'll get a little more into detail about what that video should contain in just a few minutes. So again, if you are unsure if you meet the qualifications of being either a client, a manager, or if your video would be sufficient, you can definitely contact us to verify. All right, so in terms of what goes into the application, so there is a rubric, and I'll go over that in just a moment, but I do kind of just want to go over some of the basics of the application first. The most important thing is the purpose of this grant, again, is to award innovation and creativity and the use of technology in these centers. So we want to know, how are you going to be using technology for student success, and how you will use it and what technology you will use. So the purpose can be really simple, but it does need to be more than use Accudemia or AccuCampus to track students. So Accudemia or AccuCampus can be the technology that you choose to pursue with this grant, or it can be another type of technology, but we need to know how you're going to be using it innovatively. And if you are using a technology other than Accudemia or AccuCampus, we do need to know how Accudemia or AccuCampus will factor into it. And it can be something like you want to use the funds to purchase a virtual reality headset, and you'll be using Accudemia or AccuCampus to keep track of who's using that virtual reality headset. So hopefully that's clear in terms of how you're going to use technology in terms of this grant. So the video is going to be, again, one of the most important things, and we'll also have a media release form that is part of that grant. So I'm going to exit the PowerPoint just a second so I can go over the rubric with you. Okay, so this is, if you go to our webpage, Learning Center Innovation Grant, and I'm going to go ahead and just paste that into the chat so that you can have that Learning Center Innovation Grant. So if you go down towards the bottom of the page, or a little slightly up, okay. So this contains like all of the major factors that you'll need, but we also have a rubric to kind of help you, and we'll provide that if you contact us for more information, or if you sign up, we can email that as well. So we have, obviously we have to have the name of your center, the mission statement of your center, a list of the services and the programs. This does not have to be copy and pasted from what you have listed in either AccuCampus or Academia, but you can use that as a jumping off point if you want. We want to know more about your center staff, who's employed there, what their roles are, including your tutors or support staff. Any notable achievements that your center has achieved and we definitely or reached, and we definitely would like to hear about that. And you can get creative with this. I know some of your centers may not have been operating for a long time, or you may feel that you've been working under certain constraints, but we want to know, what achievements have you made in this regard. Then a description of the type of student populations you serve. I know a lot of centers are just serving the general population, but just give us like an idea about that. The media release form, we do need to receive that. And then a little bit more about how you're going to use the funds for this grant. So how technology is currently used or will be used at the center, what type of technology you're looking to fund. And again, it can be academia or AccuCampus, but we are not looking for just using academia or AccuCampus as normally, like just to check students in and out as the technology. We do want to see a little more creativity with that. And what are your center's goals in using the technology, or how are academia or AccuCampus going to factor into those goals? Again, the technology does not have to be that, but we do need to know how you're going to be utilizing that. We also want to know a creative or innovative idea, and this can tie into the technology that you are planning to use, but we want this to be an idea that has already been implemented at your center. So it doesn't have to necessarily use very high-tech technology. So for example, a creative method for providing walk-in tutoring. This is an issue that a lot of centers face. What's the best way to organize, to triage students for walk-in tutoring? So just tell us like how you've kind of a problem you've had in a creative way that you've solved it. We do want to see photos of your center, your staff, and your logo. So if you have one. High resolution, clear images. We just kind of want to get a picture of what's going on. And then we want to see a video showing your center and your center staff. We want that video to be at least 3 minutes long, and be like a very just natural video about your center and what services it serves, and we'd like to hear from some of your staff. The quality of the video is more important than the length, so do keep that in mind. So that is it with regards to the rubric. All right, so that is pretty much it in terms of in terms of what we're looking for for an application and the details. Let me see my notes here if I have anything else I want to make sure that I add. Yep. Okay. All right. So, So a lot of you may have questions about if you are awarded the funds, what are your obligations after that? So again, the conference, we would definitely like to talk to you about the possibility of presenting the results of the grant at a conference. But either way, we are expecting the winners by the end of summer 2022 to just submit a report to us on the project's success. The details of what we'll expect from that are still being worked on, but it's probably not going to be anything too extensive since this is a one-time grant and you know, not a huge amount. And let's see. Okay, so yeah, and again, the conference, we don't have a specific conference in mind, but we do want to work with you on presenting that. And this is going to be an opportunity for you to get the word out about what your center is doing. So hopefully that is something that appeals to you. We definitely would love to present with the recipients of this grant at a conference. So let me see here if I had any other questions come up. All right. So yeah, so again, if you go to that website that I pointed out earlier, that I put in the chat, that's going to be engineerica.com/academia/learning dash center dash innovation dash grant. And we'll include that in the follow-up email. That contains most of the information that you're looking for. If any questions do come up, please feel free to reach out to me, Rachel C. at Engineerica.com, and I'm happy to answer the question, or if I don't have the answer, I'll definitely get it for you as quickly as possible. And please tell your colleagues about this grant. If this is something you have a colleague who might be interested in applying for this, definitely let them know. They don't have to be a current client, but they do have to plan to purchase Academia or AcuCampus, at least one center license for Academia. And I know there's additional license requirements for AcuCampus by the end of the year. So yeah, spread the word, let people know about this. We are happy to answer any questions that come up. Let me see. Okay, Lisa's asking how many words are allowed for the narrative. We don't have a limit for that. You know, use your best judgment there. I'd probably like to see, you know, at least a couple of paragraphs, up to a few pages. So definitely just use your best judgment. Let's see. I'm already working on a project to extend Burlington English beyond just, you know. Okay, great. Thank you, Bear. Okay, yes, we will have we will make the video available to watch at a later time. So if you're watching this in the future, then you made it. Uh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, the deadline is November 15th. So Lisa, if we're seeing a error there, we will definitely correct that. So again, the deadline is November 15th. So you have about a month and a half. I cannot believe it's already October. Uh, so apologies for the confusion, Lisa. I'm just double checking to see if we have any other questions. Okay, and again, if you do have any questions that come up later, feel free, Rachel C. at Engineerica.com. You can reach out to us, or you can fill out the info form. And I believe it does have a, let me check. I believe it does have a spot there for questions. Okay, no, it doesn't, but we will definitely get back to you. And if you have any questions, or you can just email info@engineerica.com if you can't remember my email later. All right, I think that's everything. If there are any other questions, I'll stay on for a couple minutes. But otherwise, thank you all so much for coming, and have a great rest of your day. Hi, Jessica. Just saw your question. We were a client until last year and the price caused us to find another option. I'm sorry to hear that. Do we need to enroll again to qualify? So yes. So the grant is open to former clients, but in order to be awarded the grant money, you would have to agree to purchase at least one license of Academia or AcuCampus by the end of December. So you could use, if you are awarded the grant, you could use the funds for that. Where will the webinar be available to watch? We will email that to you. And then thank you, Tracy, Presley, and Georgianne. We are happy to have seen you. Any other questions? I'll stay on for a few minutes. Thank you, Bear. Have a great rest of your day. The rubric, Annette. So that we will make that available in our follow-up email, and I will be just talking with my team about the best way to distribute that. We may still want to just finalize the points for that before we make that public. Okay, I think everybody's signing off. So I'm going to go ahead and close the session. But again, if you do have any questions, please feel free to email us. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you all so much for coming.